Take us back to the beginning. You're training people in your parents' shed. What did it look like then, you as a coach? Tell me at the start.
Me as a coach, God. Well, it was actually started before that, but most people don't realise. When I was 15, I played a lot of tennis, and I used to babysit for one of the younger kids that I used to coach a little bit on the side, and his mum was doing some personal training, and she got too busy. She knew I loved my fitness, knew I was into it all, and she said, "Oh, do you want to help me out a little bit?" I was 15 at the time, which in hindsight is absolutely bonkers that she was like, "I'm happy for you to personal train for me at 15 years old." But I ended up just looking after a couple of her clients from there, and then I just found a love for it. Ended up doing my PT qualification at like 16, 17, and then the plan was to go to, say, Fitness First, something like that, and just personal trainer standard. And when I was on my PT course, there was a section of it that they basically spoke about running your own business, and I was like, that sounds better. I wouldn't have to pay rent, work on the gym floor, whatever it might be. And I was very lucky that my mum and dad had this tiny little shed in the garden, which is literally this just big enough for me to get a barbell across lengthways. And yeah, it got to the point where I was doing 100 sessions a week out of that tiny little shed.
100 sessions a week, wow. That's crazy. So when did it change from being like physical PT in person in the shed to the online world that you're in now?
I feel I was very lucky because I always grew up or started fitness knowing that I wanted to eventually go online. No disrespect to anybody, but I grew up seeing trainers in their 40s, 50s, still on the gym floor, still counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reps, still moaning at their clients. And I was like, that's not going to be for me. So I knew that's where I wanted to go. And after probably 5 or 6 years of 100 sessions a week, 5 a.m., like first client at 5 a.m., last client at 10 p.m., kind of got to the point I was like, maybe now's the time to start looking for the online. But I literally planned everything out for 2 years, and I didn't get started. And eventually did get started a little bit. COVID came around, and it kind of gave me a bit of time to really focus on it, because I was already doing probably 60-hour week in-person training, but then COVID gave me the opportunity to actually concentrate on it, and I invested into my first mentor, and everything took off from there.
Do you think 2 years was necessary, or do you think, looking back now, you would have just like gone for it a bit sooner?
No. I was trying to plan out everything, like chasing perfection when perfection didn't exist. Like if you're starting a business, the number one thing you need to do is just get started. You're gonna feel messy, you're gonna feel chaotic, it's gonna feel all over the place, but it's supposed to be. Because I was gonna start a members site, then it was online coaching, then it was this, and then it was that. I just needed to get going, because you then learn from doing it, getting feedback from clients, and also you could plan things out forever. So that was the commitment that I made when I signed up with my mentor, was whatever he tells me, I will action and complete it in the next 24 hours. And I just did that blindly for 12 months. And we had like 150 clients just by taking action rather than just planning and not doing anything about it.
And how has your coaching style changed from what it looked like in person PTing to what it looks like now online, when you're not actually like physically with someone?
I would actually say as a personal trainer, I was a good personal trainer in terms of my clients turned up, they enjoyed the sessions, they had fun, they liked me. I kept them for ages, but I wasn't a great personal trainer in terms of actually delivering results. In terms of they got fitter, they got stronger, but not the physical changes. It's because I didn't have the systems around the training to hold them accountable with nutrition, lifestyle habits. I get better results online than I ever did in person, because it's the other 23 hours a day outside the gym session that actually get the results. It's the nutrition, it's the lifestyle, it's the sleep, it's the habits. So how it's changed is we now look at things much more as a 360 holistic approach to their health and fitness. And here's the plan. It's up to you to execute it, but I'm here to give you the strategies to help you implement it into your life.
Yeah. And can you replicate that personal touch that you can have in person online?
I would say more so, because you have more contact time. Realistically, most people are probably only going to do twice a week for personal training, just because of expense. Even here in Jersey, a good PT is going to be minimum £50 a session, twice a week. It's 100 quid, 450 pound a month. Our coaching's a hell of a lot less than that. And you'll have calls, you'll have check-ins, you'll have WhatsApp support. When I was personal training, I would see that client for 45 minutes and I'd be like, twice a week, cool. That's it. And I just think it's way more personal actually online.
Yeah. So now I'm going to talk about trends. The fitness world is absolutely flooded with them, and more so on social media and online. That's like kind of what you're looking at every day. So I want to get your opinion on some of them. So firstly, the one that's probably the biggest talking point at the moment is like Ozempic, Manjaro, the weight loss injections. Do you think that's people's only option? Some people's only option?
It's never the only option. It's never the only option. Is it an option? I think, first out, I think there's misinformation about people who are utilizing it. The way that I describe it to people is it's like you putting a plaster, or for the Americans maybe listening, a Band-Aid on a broken arm. It hides the problem, it doesn't fix it. Because all it essentially does is chemically change your relationship to hunger. So it just basically blocks your ability to be hungry. Okay, so then you don't eat. But as soon as you come off it, you've still got your old habits. And your habits are the number one thing that dictate your weight, your fitness, your shape, your whatever it might be. So if you don't change your habits, then you'll always look the same.
Yeah. And a lot of them, well, like the research that's coming out now is that people are losing that muscle mass as well. So I suppose what impact does that have on your overall physique and long-term well-being?
Yeah, correct. Because everyone who says they want to lose weight, they don't want to lose weight, they want to lose fat.
Yeah.
Big difference, okay? But that's why if anybody was to do it, and this is what my opinion it would be, say like from a legal standpoint, you don't get it unless you're doing it alongside a training and nutrition plan. And then also you are giving a time frame, 12 weeks, which you're allowed to take it. That's it. Because I do think for some people it can be a useful kickstart to their journey. But if they don't have the supporting training and nutrition, it's never going to do anything. And also people come on and like, just stay on this for ages, it's fine. There's no really research into the long-term side effects of it because it's so new. And also it should be there to kickstart, and then your lifestyle, your habits, your training, your nutrition should be the thing that carries it on.
So would you work with someone who's taking a weight loss injection?
We do. I've got a number of clients right now, but I always say, how long are you on it? Are you doing it with the doctor? And go, cool. At this point, we're stopping, and this is the game plan. And if someone isn't open to that feedback or us coaching them through that process, then I won't coach them.
And do you think kind of people don't try everything first before they try weight loss injections?
Of course, because people are looking for a quick fix. If we look at what is value, okay, I think is a good topic here. Value is, okay, let's say this. Why would someone pay £20,000 for liposuction, but they won't spend £200 a month on a gym membership?
I don't know.
Okay, you won't, okay?
Yeah.
The reason they would is because all they have to do is go to sleep. They take a little bit of anesthetic and they wake up in shape. So there's not much pain or effort or sacrifice. There's a guaranteed, like, liposuction works, okay? Whereas you go to the gym, it's hard, it's painful, you've got to be consistent, and if you're not guaranteed the result. So why is it trending so much? Because it's a quick fix and there's a guaranteed outcome. So that's why people are going for it. But there are so many other things that people can try. But it comes back to, if you don't fix the root of the cause, you'll always end up back where you are.
Yeah. And how do you kind of change that mindset shift on that it's not doing a diet or doing a program for so long, it's actually like a lifestyle change?
I use this analogy. Imagine this table, okay? On top of this table, you have your health. Well, you have your family, you have your career, you have your finances, you have your friends, you have your children, okay? If I took away your career, you've still got everything else on the table. If I took away, God forbid, your family, you've still got everything else on the table. If I took away your finances, you've still got everything else on the table. If I take away the table, you have nothing. What's the table?
Your well-being.
Your well-being, your health.
Mm-hmm.
So people have got to realise that the cliche saying of being selfish is being selfless, but also look after yourself, because when your cup's full, you can give back. Is people changing their perception of, rather than doing this to look a certain way, it's what can my body, can my health, can my fitness allow me to do?
Yeah. And what would you say to someone that knows that, but they're either like too embarrassed to kind of start and ask for help, or, you know, in that mindset of like negativity?
I was a personal trainer from the outside in, successful, okay, 100 plus clients, playing rugby at a pretty decent level, great friendship group. Found myself 3 stone, 21 kilos overweight, looked in the mirror and said, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling that, okay, you're not alone. When you go to the gym, it's why I love the gym. It might seem like an intimidating environment, but everyone there is for one reason: be a better version of themselves. That's it.
But it can obviously be like, you know, very intimidating.
Of course it can.
Yeah.
Of course it can. But is it that it's actually intimidating, or is that the story that you're telling yourself about it?
Yeah.
Is it the fear that it's intimidating?
And how do you coach someone who's like lost that motivation? Not because they don't want it, but like because of life is getting in the way and all of that.
Life smacks you in the face. You just take it back to what can you do. People look at their fitness journey and say they have to go from 1 to 10. That's the worst thing that you can do, because you might be able to do it for a week, 2 weeks, but then you go, ugh, it's too much. The question is, okay, right now, how do we get from 0 to 1? And is that literally just, hey, we're going to get to sleep a little bit earlier because you need some more energy? Is that, I'm not going to get the frappuccino matcha latte 17 pumps of sugar-free syrup, I'm just going to get a normal latte with skinny milk? That's a win. And when you build momentum and you get one win turns into 2 wins, turns into 3 wins, and then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, I can do this. It's just about building confidence, and you build confidence by saying you're going to do something and doing it. Doesn't matter how small that thing is.
And how long do you think it takes to make that change and it become routine and just your normal life?
Completely change. Everyone will hear the myth of, it takes 28 days to pick up a habit. Complete BS. I could pick up one habit in 2 days, and it might take me 2 years to embed another habit. But it's, if you understand habits, it can be easier than others. But I would say truly, if I was to take the average person to getting to the point where you can get in shape and stay in shape, I think you need 12 months. Why?
Yeah.
Every month's different. So the social challenges that you face in January to July to November, December is all completely different. Mm-hmm. Why not just learn how to do it once, and then you can just put it on repeat?
That's interesting. I've never thought about it like that before, but you're right. Yeah, there's different changes, and yeah.
Also, in 12 months, shit's going to hit the fan at some point.
Yeah.
So everyone's good until shit hits the fan. It's then learning how to, if you can do it, I call it like stress testing. If you can still train, still be decent with your food, still do those basic habits, even when life's hard, you're good. But we get a lot of clients who they'll crush it for 90 days, 4 months, like, this is easy, I can do it on my own. I'm like, we need to wait until something, in the nicest way, something bad happens. You have a stressful period of work, something happens to a family member, you go through a breakup, I don't know. But we need to see how you are in your darkest hour. There's a James Clear quote from Atomic Habits, and he says, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems.
Nice.
which is gold. Yeah.
And if someone doesn't like the gym, can they still lose weight and get, feel good and get the physique they want?
Of course. I would say 20% of our clients don't go to the gym. If your goal is just to lose weight and be healthier, nutrition, steps, if you want that tone physique, you're probably going to have to do some kind of workouts at home. Okay, it doesn't need to be much, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 30 minutes is fine. Okay, but most people start with that, build some confidence, and they want to go to the gym eventually. But I would start with what you feel comfortable with, because you'll be more consistent.
And what is something that your clients need to know, even if it stings a little or it's a bit savage? What would you say to someone if it wasn't going to hurt their feelings?
Your body is a reflection of the choices you've made. Your health is a reflection of the choices you made. You don't like your belly, it's because you're fucking eating too much. You can't walk up the stairs without getting up breath, it's because you sit on your ass all day. Your body is a reflection of the standards that you hold yourself to. story for you. I worked with a client, absolutely crushed it, lost 40 kilos with me. Okay. Had a really slow beginning and something just flipped. And I had a call with him when he finished and done amazing. He still kept the weight off. And I said to him, something flipped with you. Is it something that you came to? Because I wanted to understand it. And he said to me, this was resonated with me. And he said, you just told me to stop eating like a fucking child. And I was like, sometimes people just need to be told the truth in a non-sugar coated way. If you're not in the shape you want, you know what to do. You just need to fucking do it. It's as simple as that.
That's fair enough. If someone keeps restarting every Monday, what's the real issue?
Is that because they're slipping up on the weekends? They're just restarting every Monday. Okay.
You know, you go, I'm going to be good this week, and you do it for a week, and then something happens.
Fall off track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or do you have to get to the bottom of the issues to why?
Generally, I would say that's one of two reasons that people are always starting on Monday. One, your plan is setting you up to fail. Every fad diet, insert fad diet here, keto, slimming world, whatever it might be, they are literally designed to get you quick wins and be so aggressive and so unsustainable that you can't stick to it. So you fall off track and go back to square one. Mm-hmm. And when you fall off and go back to square one, what do? That worked. It'll be different this time. I'll stick to it. But it's not, because it's literally designed to get you a quick win. So you think it works, then you fail, and then you go, I'll go back to square one. Okay. So it could be your plan. It's too restrictive. It's too intense. It's not setting you up for success. On the other side of this, that's the logical, practical sense. On the emotional and psychological level of this, for a lot of people, they don't like their life. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry to be blunt here. They don't like their job. They don't like their partner. They don't like their friends. They don't like their family. Okay? And their weekend is just an escape. It's, I need something that makes me feel good. It's food. It's alcohol. It's an escape. And they go, why did I do that? Or they don't have something in their week. They might like their family, like their work, but they don't have something they look forward to. So then the weekend just becomes a blur just to fill this space and this void that they're just not happy or not enjoying something. So they just look for an escape, and then they beat themselves up, and then Monday comes around and they go, I need to make up for it, and they go so restrictive. And then you just end up in this cycle, and every week it happens. You get more frustrated with yourself, more frustrated for yourself, and more, and eventually you catch the fuck-its. And they're contagious. And when you catch the fuck-its, you say fuck it, and then your Monday to Friday becomes bad as well. And then you look in the mirror like I did, and you don't like what you see.
How do you change that emotional attachment to food though? Do you have to replace it with something else, or do you just learn to have other coping mechanisms? You learn
to, it's a habit. So generally that will be triggered by something, okay? And full transparency, okay, for myself, never had the best relationship with food. One of mine is if I feel lonely or on my own or isolated or a bit sad, what can make me feel good? I'll have some food, okay? So a habit works like this. You have a cue, an action, and a reward. For example, Simon feels lonely. Action, Simon eats ice cream. Reward, that's tasty. Feel good. So if you can understand the trigger, you can change the action. But you also have to understand that we are not our emotions. Emotions are like the tide. They come and they go. You're never always sad. You're never always angry. You're never always anxious. So if you can recognize it, but I say to my clients, put yourself in a helicopter. You are not the emotion. If you can become the observer of the emotion, you can become more rational. And again, coming back to building confidence, the more times that you can do that, see it, not give into it, you realize that you can do this. And there's going to be times you slip up, but that's totally fine. But it's about learning from it, learning from it, learning from it.
Perfect. I've got some quick fire questions for you now.
Oof.
You ready?
Here we go, pressure's on.
If I can read my own writing.
I was looking at that thing, there's no chance I could read that.
Favourite post-workout meal?
Just favourite meal in our poke bowl would be.
Favourite pre-run snack?
Banana, honey, peanut butter on a bagel. A sprinkle of cinnamon made by Anna.
One exercise you'd ban forever?
Behind the neck lat pull downs.
Yeah.
They're literally just asking for you to snap your neck.
If you could only do 3 exercises for the rest of your life, what 3 would they be?
I can do a squat, an incline dumbbell bench press, and a chest supported row.
Nice. Quote that always gets you out of bed.
The hardest day of a man's life is when he meets the man he could have been.
Diet or lifestyle?
Lifestyle.
That was an obvious.
Yeah.
you
I
know
had to think about that one. I was like,
awesome.
boom.
Done.